Right now, a child in Myanmar is hiding not from a game but from soldiers and bombs. This is not a movie. It's the daily terror for millions, where hope is dangerous and survival is all-consuming. Families flee burning homes, huddling in jungle camps, listening to distant artillery and praying it stays away. Children know the sound of gunfire better than a school bell. This is a humanitarian catastrophe, unfolding today, largely ignored by the world. Just a few years ago, Myanmar was a fragile democracy. People voted, dreamed, and hoped, but the military, the Tatmadaw, shattered that dream, choosing power over the will of 54 million people. Now, the junta bombs schools, burns villages, and silences dissent with torture and death. This is a war of a country against itself, a military waging terror on its own citizens. The world's indifference and geopolitical games have allowed this to continue. Myanmar is not a chessboard, it's a nation of people fighting for their lives. The violence must end. We cannot look away. February 1st, 2021, Myanmar's democracy died overnight. The military arrested elected leaders, cut communications, and seized power before dawn. The people responded with peaceful defiance. Millions marched, workers struck, and pots and pans rang out in protest. The junta answered with bullets, turning hopeful streets into killing fields. Protesters were shot, snatched from homes, and made to disappear. The message was clear: the military would rule by fear, not consent. Decades of progress were erased in days. The fragile institutions of democracy were crushed. The people faced a brutal choice: submit or resist. Many chose to fight, refusing to let fear define their future. The struggle for freedom became a fight for survival. Myanmar's dream was smashed, but its people refused to surrender. The battle for their country had only just begun. When peaceful protest met gunfire, ordinary people took up arms. Students, farmers, and workers formed the People's Defense Force, the PDF. With homemade weapons and guerrilla tactics, they faced one of Southeast Asia's largest armies. The Tatmadaw responded with scorched earth warfare, burning villages, bombing civilians, and cutting off resources. The PDF, outgunned and undersupplied, fights on for survival and freedom. Despite overwhelming odds, they've seized territory and forced a stalemate. This is no longer about politics, it's about existence. The PDF fights so future generations won't have to hide from the sound of jets. Their courage is Myanmar's hope. The Tatmadaw's brutality didn't start in 2021. In 2017, they unleashed genocide on the Rohingya, a Muslim minority, burning villages and forcing 700,000 to flee. The world called it ethnic cleansing. Survivors called it hell. Propaganda dehumanized the Rohingya, and even civilian leaders defended the military. The same commanders and tactics used then are now turned against the rest of Myanmar. The genocide was a warning, ignored by many. Today's violence is a continuation, not an exception. The suffering of the Rohingya was a prelude to nationwide horror. Myanmar's tragedy is the Tatmadaw's legacy. Where is the world? Mostly watching. The UN is paralyzed. China and Russia block action, seeing Myanmar as a strategic asset. Neighbors like India and Thailand prioritize their own interests, while ASEAN's peace plan is ignored. Western nations offer words and limited sanctions, but loopholes and inaction persist. The junta's main revenue, oil and gas, remains untouched. The people of Myanmar are left to fight alone. Global silence emboldens the generals. Inaction is complicity. The world's indifference is a weapon in the junta's hands. It's time to speak out and demand change.